Sunday night like this for taking this time aside to celebrate our morning passing of my grandfather. To begin with, I would just like to thank everyone once again. Although it's a very difficult time for my family, especially for my dad, who's just lost his father recently, I stand here not only to mourn my dadu, as I would always regard him as, but to just celebrate his life and what a great man he was. My very first memories of Dadu were from Calcutta during summer break. I would always stand on the balcony and watch him water the plants and tell him about my school. He was always very, very interested to find out about my academic life. He always asked about my grades, my activities, my favorite subjects, and there was always such a smile on his face whenever I would tell him about my latest achievements. And this would always continue, not just in India, but at home. He would always call and ask, how was I doing? What was new? What had I already succeeded in? And the pleasure in his voice was always evident, and it would always make my heart warm with joy. One of the things I remember most about Dadu was just his voice. Always soft, always soothing, never ever harassed. I was always Beta Ji to him. Malika was always Malika Rani, and whenever anyone was older to him or younger to him, Dadu would never address them without attaching Ji at the end. He was always very, very humble like that. He was also one of the most organized people I've ever known, and so is my dad, and from that I've inherited the same tendencies. He always had boxes full of his old letters and documents, albums full of pictures, all neatly organized with dates and captions. Sitting with him, going through these albums, learning about my heritage, it was always a very great pleasure. And after Dad came back, he even showed me that Dadu had saved his very own wedding card all the way back in 1951 when he married my grandmother. And this does bring me to the subject of my grandmother. She was the one person that my Dadu loved more than life itself. Dadima passed away suddenly 3.5 years ago, and after that, it never really was the same. The spark had gone out of Dadu's eyes. He would laugh, he would talk, but it was never the same as it was before she passed away. Today, Dadu isn't here with us, and although it is a very difficult time for my family, we take solace in the fact that Dadu is finally where he wanted to be, with Dadima. I know he is finally happy and at peace with his Dolly, as he would always call my Dadima. Once again, thank you very much for all coming here.